Hi, what you're looking at here is the 10 of Wands from my Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. The astrology associated with this is Jupiter in Sagittarius. Some might even say Saturn in Sagittarius. But the chakra associated with this, in my opinion, is the solar plexus, which a lot of the wands is associated with the solar plexus, and some the sacral. The element associated with this card is fire, and numerically it is all sums of 10 and 1 to be reduced down to 1. Keywords associated with this card in an upright position are burden, overloaded, overburdened, responsibilities, stress, problems, weight of the world on your shoulders, duty, drudgery, obligation, saddled, restricted, burnt out, uphill struggle, and taken for granted. In reverse, it's just a lot of problems, duty-bound, possibly resigned to fate. And I would say this is a no card. My first impressions of this card is, knowing what I know about the wands now, and the journey of the wands, so to speak, that at this point, it looks like the wands have been about ambition, the fire within you, spiritual, magical self, emotional, and physical things, but like highly associated with your ego and winning. So at this point, we see him carrying these wands, and it looks like he's almost to the finish line, like he's almost returning home. He's ready to cross that finish line, but it's taking its toll on him. You can see he's weighted down with these wands, but he's still carrying them. So it's like he's willing to make, willing to do whatever it takes because he's a fighter. He's very strong-willed, but he's struggling. You can tell he's burdened by this. When this card comes up in a reading, it means that there is a heavy burden represented here. You're overloaded. You're taking on a lot of responsibility. It means you've taken on a lot of responsibility, and you may be feeling weighted down because of it, but you still have the strength and the endurance to carry on. It could mean that you're struggling with these burdens, and you may be feeling overwhelmed with all of the responsibility. So let's look at the symbolism. We see a man who is bent over, and there's also the castle in the background, which we've seen that's recurring, and a lot of trees. So we see a man bent over, but and carrying the wands, and the fact that he's bent over shows the burden, but he's not distracted. He's not distracted because he has totally focused on the wands. So he's just focused on carrying them and nothing else, not allowing him to be distracted by anything around the outside world. It's like he's made it this far, and it doesn't matter how many steps are left. He's determined to finish this race with the heavy burdens that he's carrying with him. And then 10 is completion, but the beginning of something new. So he's finishing this, but entering something new. So it's also about transition. We see the castle in the background. So, he's returning, but he's returning with all this experience too. So he's coming back not just a winner, but he has gained a lot of knowledge in this amount of time in this race. So he's winning more than just the race. And then the whole background, you have the blue sky, you have the earth that he's walking on, and in the background with the trees and the castle, it's like he's like right there to meet his goals. The blue sky could mean a clear conscious, he's He's not carrying that burden. He's carrying the experience of the race. He's tired, but he's also, gained experience, wisdom. His intuition is going to be better. He'll be better at his decision making. So it's definitely been worth it. And the finish line is just right there. So this card shows that, the burden has been great, but it's been worth it. So again, these are just, my interpretations as I'm learning these cards. And I hope that you resonate. And if there's something else that you see, do not be afraid to leave that in the comments, because, this is all about learning and experiencing these cards with me. And I enjoy hearing your thoughts. We are moving on from this suit. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the court cards of this suit. And I think that the court cards are a whole new ball game. Because we've seen the journey of like situations, So the court cards are more personal, like maybe there's like archetypes involved in the court cards. So I hope that you'll join me. And then after we get through the archetypes or the court cards, then we will start the suit of cups. So I really appreciate you being here. And I'll see you in the next video.